This gaming PC only costs $300, but it still gets pretty good performance in 1080p, and being on the AM4 platform has an amazing and easy upgrade path. It plays good, it looks good, and it isn't too hard on your wallet. Build this PC now and easily make upgrades to it over time when you save up some more cash. So let's go over everything you'll need to pick up so you can recreate this awesome budget gaming PC right after this video sponsor. When you install Windows on your Steam Deck or any other PC for that matter, you're going to need to activate it to unlock all the settings. Why spend a ton of money for a code when you can use the sponsor of today's video, SCD Key? You can purchase Windows keys at a large discount, and to get 25% off your order, use code JASON, that's JASON, to get 25% off your order. After purchasing, you'll get your code pretty much instantly and be able to unlock your computer's full potential. And remember that all Windows 10 Pro users can upgrade to Windows 11 for free at any time in the future using these keys. Just take your code, go to your Windows activation menu, pop it in, and boom. Windows is activated, and you should be on your way. Thanks to SCD Key. As usual, prices for products change over time, and I can't control what stores charge for their products. I can only go over what I did to build this PC and hope you can take away some ideas or inspiration for your next gaming PC. So don't use this as a one-to-one guide, but as a jumping off point depending on your budget. And as always, links to everything mentioned in this video will be down in the video description below, as well as some alternatives. A lot of people in my comment sections really prefer their budget gaming PCs to be highly upgradable, but the lower your budget is, the lower the chance that your PC will have any kind of upgrade path. That's why I think this $300 price point is basically as low as you can go and still have some sort of way to upgrade your PC over time, unless you find some amazing offline deals in your local marketplace, of course. But for these videos, I try to only use online deals to give some more realistic expectations for you guys. Could you imagine if I labeled the video best $100 gaming PC, and then in the video I mentioned that someone gave me an RTX 4090 for free and I didn't include that in the $100? There would be pitchforks in the comment section. Having said that, I think I found a cheap way to get an affordable upgrade path. The AM4 platform is a great way to get a cheap and easy upgrade path. But also because of this, the Ryzen CPUs do not see the massive slash in prices that we often see from their Intel counterparts, even years after being released. Even buying from the used market, people still price their old Ryzen processors quite high. The CPU I eventually landed on is this Ryzen 5 1400, which is probably the cheapest Ryzen processor I'd still feel comfortable using in a modern gaming PC. It's a bit older, being released in April of 2017, which is literally 7 years ago. Feel old yet? But that's actually not that old considering the price point of this PC. The Ryzen 5 1400 has 4 cores and 8 threads and can boost up to 3.4 GHz. So it's not strong enough to push an RTX 4090, but these specs are absolutely enough to power many graphics cards within our budget. I tried originally finding on eBay, but even the cheapest used ones were a little too expensive. So I decided to find a vendor on AliExpress that is selling them for a pretty good price with free shipping. And yes, this is definitely used as well, but if you know anything about computers, you'll know that CPUs are very unlikely to die before any other components in your PC, so buying used is not really a concern for me. Prices really do change every day, so if you're looking for a Ryzen 5 1400, feel free to use the AliExpress link in the description, but it would be really worth your time to check your local marketplace, as well as eBay. You might find a really good deal. And for the motherboard, I needed a chipset that could handle any upgrades we throw in it down the line. So while something like an A320 motherboard would certainly be pretty good for this PC, it probably wouldn't be enough if we threw in a Ryzen 7 5800X in the future. So a B450 board was in my eyesights. And again, if you look around on eBay or your local marketplace, you might find a good price on a used premium board, but that's not really fun for a video, is it? So I actually bought this B450M motherboard from AliExpress from a brand called Soyo. If you watch a lot of PC builds on YouTube, you might be familiar with Soyo, as they are infamous for releasing graphics cards you often find on AliExpress. Things like the RX 580, the 5700 XT, and even the 6600M. I've had good luck with their graphics cards in the past, so I wanted to give the motherboard a chance as well. It had good reviews, but after further inspection, it's slightly lacking in the feature department. So while it does come with a Gen 3 NVMe SSD slot, it only has 2 RAM slots, and the CPU power port is only 4 pins, which generally means the board is slightly underpowered. But Soyo says they even flashed the BIOS of the board to the most updated version before shipping it out, so you should have no problem slapping in a 5000 series CPU at any time. Except that they say it only supports up to a Ryzen 5 5600. Maybe they're just trying to cover their butts. If I was to build this PC for someone, realistically I probably wouldn't buy this motherboard again. I'd buy a used B450 from a reputable brand, or I'd just spend the extra cash to get a brand new one from Amazon. But hey, just like my love life in college, This channel is all about experimenting, so we're going to stick with it and see if it can pump out some serious frames. The CPU I bought didn't come with the stock AMD fan, but if it did, I would just use that. It's more than enough. So the CPU cooler I picked was this cheap Thermalright Assassin King 120 SE, a very simple 5 heat pipe cooler that is everything we will need in this build, and it comes with an ARGB fan for a little extra bling. I needed to get some RAM to fill out those 2 slots, so I just picked up 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, clocking in at 3200 megatransfers per second. These are from Oloy and have worked great for me in the past. There's no RGB on them or anything, but they at least do come in a standard black look with a pretty cool design. And for storage, I just wanted to grab a 512 gig NVMe SSD, but prices are pretty inflated on Amazon right now. So I wanted to try one of these SSDs from AliExpress. This is from a company called Huadisk, and it had over 5,000 good reviews and even had a silhouette of a Kung Fu man on it. I tested the speed and capacity after I received the drive, and it matched what the company claimed on their product page. Obviously, this might not be as reliable as an SSD from a big company like Samsung or Crucial, but I wanted to give it a shot, and it seems to be okay so far. I'll have cheap alternatives from more known companies on Amazon in the description if you don't feel comfortable buying the Huadisk, because honestly, I get it. But as a rule of thumb, just buy as much storage as you can afford, but I wouldn't go any lower than 512 gigs. Now for the power supply, we need something stable that will support future graphics cards we throw in here, but still be relatively affordable. So I went with the tried and true MSI Mag A550BN. It's a good power supply at a good price. It's not modular at all, but at least it doesn't have ketchup and mustard cables. If you're tired of seeing this power supply in videos, go yell at the power supply manufacturers to release more budget-friendly options that won't explode on impact. Luckily, this guy is reliable and will power up most graphics cards we could ever need in the future. If you know for sure you're gonna get a super high power GPU in the future, like in the very near future, something like a RTX 3080 or an RX 7800 GRE, then feel free to go ahead and buy a higher wattage power supply now. Something like a 750 watt should be just fine. Now our budget is running dry, so I had to wait around for a case to go on sale, and luckily this one from RaidMax dropped down to $46 on Newegg a few weeks ago, and it had everything I needed. This is the Meshian X922. It's ATX size, so it will support any motherboard upgrades we need in the future. Comes with a tempered glass side panel, an okay build quality, mesh airflow, and 4 pre-installed ARGB fans, saving us money on aesthetics and overall just less work because installing fans is pretty annoying. Now this isn't an amazing case. It has maybe 1 millimeter of space for cable management, but it was cheap and still comes with fans and avoids the dreaded acrylic side panel. Now as I state in every video, if you're trying to build a budget gaming PC, wait around for a case to go on sale. Otherwise, there aren't many good cases under that $60 price range these days, so just be patient, be diligent, and follow me on Twitter, or X or whatever, and I'll be sure to post any good PC sales I find as they come up. But a lot of the sales disappear in just a few hours, so be sure to pay attention if you want a really good deal. Now the graphics card I found was this used GTX 1060 6GB, which is about as low as I'll go when it comes to NVIDIA graphics cards these days. It has some okay 1080p performance, but if you can afford the extra money, I do recommend getting a GTX 1070 instead, or even an RX 588GB. But we're on a tight budget for this video, so sacrifices had to be made. Nonetheless, the 1060 is still a good card for modern gaming in 1080p and is a great starter GPU into the world of PC gaming. Check your local marketplace for used graphics cards, because at this budget there really isn't any brand new cards available. The GTX 1060 was the #1 most used graphics card according to the Steam hardware survey for many years, and still holds a spot in the top 10, so I think it's going to allow us to push out some great performance. Now the only thing that's left is to build this bad boy, get some glamour shots, and test out the performance. PC looks amazing after plugging everything in, and honestly, the performance was better than I expected. Considering our graphics card and processor were both entry-level hardware back in 2017, I think they've aged like fine wine. And with that AM4 chipset, we will be able to upgrade our computer for a few years to come. If you noticed during the benchmarks, the CPU was being maxed out on many of the games, and that makes a lot of sense, considering it was very cheap and it's pretty underpowered even for 2017. So if you do build this PC, I recommend instead buying the Ryzen 5 2600X on AliExpress. It's only about $10 to $15 more, but you will have way better performance. In the end, I'm glad I tried out the Ryzen 1400, but I probably won't be using it again in the future. Still, for $300, I think this PC came out pretty good, and it's gonna play esports titles really great and even some AAA games at playable frame rates. But if $300 is out of your budget, you can check out these two videos here where we build great budget gaming PCs at even lower prices. Please like the video if you liked it and get subscribed for more technology content. My name's Jason. Thanks for watching.